And we are live in we're on expedition right now. I'm at the base of the mountain, and Ben Bile, I hope this isn't his last broadcast, but he is close to the summit. Uh I believe the summit of Dajé Rame. Dajé Rame. Dajé Rame 2015. Something like that. Anyways, it's got a hell of a lot of towing power. So anyway, Ben, we're talking about uh this week's animal or creature, cryptozoology, cryptid. I don't know, I'm trying to throw in all the slangs. Um is I have a hard time saying this thing. What's it called?
Let me look at the name again.
Yeah, we're
Got my book here.
It's got some weird name, but it's a wild man.
Chuchunaa.
A what?
Chuchunaa.
Chuchunaa.
And I'm
Chuchunaa.
not even sure I'm saying it correctly, because I can pronounce some Lakota, and that's kind of how I'm pronouncing it, as if it was a Lakota word.
Yeah,
Not
the Lakota. You ever use the? You don't remember the commercials they used to have for the Lakota ointment for if you got back pain or anything?
no.
There used to be an old guy come on and go Lakota, and he used to be really creepy. But
Okay, no, I don't.
you believed him because he was just because at the end of the ad they would always give you like a stack of casino chips. So, all right. Anyways, yeah, look up that commercial Lakota. So Ben's, I know he looks like he doesn't even remember any of these references that I'm saying. You don't even remember. You ever see a show called BJ and the Bear? No, I'm sorry, Grizzly Adams.
Yes, I've watched Grizzly Adams.
Okay, all right. So it's Grizzly Adams. All right. Ben is Ben. I know a lot of you are thinking I'm a young man, and Ben is the older one, but no, it's the other way around. I am the older statesman, and
Yeah.
Ben is the younger one. I won't give away his age because that's rude. But he was born in the summertime, as the Indians say. So we're talking about what the hell is this creature called again? Now I got Lakota stuck in my head. It's a chicha. God, man, I should have wrote it down.
Chuchunaa.
A what? A chicho
Chuchunaa.
chochona. So the
That's my
chochona
best guess.
chochona. If we're saying it wrong, please leave a comment and please don't swear. So this thing here, this Chuchuna, which in Italian means a chooch, which means a bum. No, a chooch in Italian means like I don't know. It's a nice name to call somebody. Hey, chooch. So this creature here, this I think, and I'm going to share the screen. We'll see what it looks like. Share screen. Okay, so this is what this thing looks like. Do you see that?
From the descriptions I've read, hairier than that, but facial very similar. Yeah.
When I looked it up, this is what came up, and to me it looks like a
That looks
homeless.
more like a Neanderthal depiction.
Yeah, but a Neanderthal, he would have more of a pronounced brow. Well, yeah, this guy's got a pronounced brow. This guy looks like he's unemployed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the picks. And then here, let me get the other one here. So this is what. Okay, so You see that?
It's still popping up.
Do you see it?
Not yet.
Okay, so on my end, it's kind of creepy, but it's what this looks like a Neanderthal.
I'm frozen.
Are you frozen? Like,
Yeah.
is it that cold?
No. My screen froze.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Does that help?
Yep. There we go.
Okay, you're back a second ago. Okay, we'll stop doing that because where he's at the summit, the reception is really bad. So, anyways, I was gonna bring up. I wasn't gonna. I'm not gonna share it because you won't be able to see it. But scientists believe that this is a. Uh, let me see if it works. I'm gonna try and share this what they say about it. And of course, I don't have it ready. Where is it?
A lot of scientists were thinking that it's a relic human,
Yeah,
ancient past, or something like that. That's well, I'll just start describing it. It's 6 to 7 feet tall.
right.
Very broad-shouldered. Um, the name actually, the different names I've found for it roughly translates into like bandit, vagrant type things. Often they're pillaging dwellings for food, and they'd actually wear animal skins for clothing.
Yeah.
So
But do you think that it's Russian, like Russian folklore saying that it's like how they scare kids where they go, Chuchunaa will come and get you at night if you don't go to bed now or do your homework or enjoy communism.
yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
quite possible. But a lot of the native people that live in Russia and they live like the nomadic reindeer herders and stuff like that have stories going back into the 1800s.
Oh, about this wild man.
Yep, yep, yep.
Now, do they think that it's a it's not intelligent enough to be like no one's anything that I've looked up on it. Honestly, when I looked up for this Chuchunaa, some band came up, some boy band. So I was like, well, all right, okay. And when I looked it up, it looked like a well, you saw the pic, but what I don't get is it's not saying it's a Neanderthal, right?
So, their scientists suspected, or they're just guessing what it could be. But Neanderthals were on average 5 foot to 5.5 foot tall. So something that's 6 to 7 feet tall and has hair all over it, that's different than what scientists believe Neanderthal was. So
But I thought Neanderthal were big.
yeah, they were like 5.5 foot tall and 200 pounds. They're
Yeah, that
big in
somebody
a different way.
I remember somebody telling me that. Well, I was a scientist on uh, Discovery, and he said a Neanderthal would be as strong, would make Arnold Schwarzenegger when Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, at his peak when he was maybe 25 years old and juiced to the gills of roids and you know. Anyways, uh, when Arnold was a beast of a man, they said
Mhm.
at a normal, an average size Neanderthal would physically destroy him. Would could physically um, could lift 3 times what the average man could lift.
Yeah.
Like they
Uh,
were very strong.
hmm you for the kind of strength that they think Neanderthal is capable of, you'd have to look at people like Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, Robert Oberst. Hawthorne Bjornsson, and those guys are all over 400 pounds when they won World's Strongest Man. So
Yeah, but
that's considerably bigger than to
yeah,
get that
but
same kind of strength.
those guys are that's not normal. Like I've watched documentaries on those guys.
Yeah.
They graze eating like cows do. Like they just constantly shove food down their throat. They're like my unemployed uncle, just constantly just shut. Like I'm like, well, I don't know where he gets the money from, but he just constantly shoves. But that's what Shaw and those guys do to
Mhm.
maintain. People have no idea. They can't believe how there's a cool video that I'll send to you, and it says why white guys, and it's done by a black guy, why white guys are stronger, like guys from ice, like world's strongest man. There has never been a colored person for
There,
world,
World's Strongest Man, no, but Mark Felix has multiple world records though too.
but for the world's strongest man, there's never been a colored person, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what this guy was. He was showing why. He's just, and I believe that's with the just the climate where they were saying because of the climate. I'm going way off course here. I'm sorry, but he was just saying off, uh, like just the climate. That's why, like, what's his name? Zavikas,
Savicus,
yeah, Big Z.
Junis Savicus.
Yeah, where those guys are from, they're like 400 pounds, where they're just constantly, and they're eating, they're forcing food down their throat, and where a Neanderthal would, he doesn't need to graze or do force feed himself for strength.
Yeah.
He would be physically, no matter what any of these guys can do, he would always be stronger than the world's strongest man. So anyway, there's a cool. I'll
Patrick,
try,
stop.
I'll try and find it. Patrick's out shooting. He's trying to shoot
Nope,
a,
he's
a
leaving the truck. Oh, Patrick, get back here.
it's just his pet child. Don't worry about it.
Oh, like on the Krugs.
It's all right. Hey, it's an expedition, folks.
I know. Here.
That's what we're out there looking for, this creature for you guys. And if you could send money,
I know a guy who goes to Russia for vacation. So.
was it Russia for vacation?
Yeah, he's been there multiple times, and then
Why?
he's been up.
He's never heard of the Caribbean?
He went to like the big cities and stuff, and went to different things and whatnot the first time, and he goes back like every other year, I think. So
Hey, do you like the cold?
I don't mind the cold whatsoever.
Yeah, that really annoys me. I can't stand the cold, man. And
You live.
people that say that they like the cold, I don't get it. I remember a buddy going, "Hey, you want to go skiing?" And I'm like, "Skiing? Go down a mountain like an idiot? Like what?" Yeah, skiing, it's fun. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll eat my Swiss chalet while you go skiing. All right, you know.
Yeah, you live farther north than I do.
I can't. I have no idea why I'm here. I'm just, as soon as my numbers come in, I am out of here. My head keeps anyways. So back to this uh creature here. Well, I shouldn't call it a creature. They believe it's a a like a man that, do they not believe it's a man that uh it's not a Neanderthal, but it is a wild man, right?
Yes, that's what. So like scientists believe it was actually a relic human. Uh, there's been expeditions searching for it, but nothing has been found because like the earliest. Let's see here. Because like I said, the tribes there in Siberia were talking about it, and their stories are from like mostly like the late 1800s, And like, how was it? And they didn't start looking for it until like 1933, and then it was just kind of intermittent.
Right.
And a professor actually called for the government to abolish hunting on these people on grounds that all people of the USSR deserve equal protection, and that is a direct quote from Cryptozoology A to Z. And then, and in this book, it says in the 1970s, they believe that the Chuchunaa had been extinct by by the 1970s.
By the 1970s, so they no longer exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know why I think why they don't exist anymore? I believe it's just like where they would go and scrounge for food, or if you had a camp, a wild man would, if they see that you got food. First of all, it's kind of sad, and it is documented that there have been kids that have been uh, uh, left out. Uh, we all know that story of the Jungle Book of the kid, but that really did happen. Like there have been cases of children brought up in the wild by
Yep.
either a pack of wolves or uh, it's never a hyena. Never. It's
No.
always a pack of wolves because I don't know. Hyenas are jerks. So the kid, that's what I think the Chuchunya is it's a wild man, and that's it. Like when they if you see a group of people camping, you're gonna go after their food,
Yeah.
right? When they're in
I
bed.
mean, if things are hard enough, because things in Siberia are very, very well. They call it the tundra for a reason. They use it as punishment for a reason. There's nothing out there, so even if the relic human that has decent amount of intelligence, it'd still have a hard time living out there.
See, I
So
thought when you first sent it to me, I was looking around. That's why, like, really quickly, I was like, I thought Ben was talking about like the Yeti of Siberia. So I was looking up at this creature that there's an expedition, not expedition. These a group of I think 9.
oh,
Uh,
Dotloff Pass incident.
yeah, they got butchered. These poor kids, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I was looking at, and I was looking at that, and I'm thinking something really disturbing happened there. That'll be another day, but that's what I thought you were talking about. But yeah, the wild man. There's been over the years of wild people that live in the woods, and I think if you grow up at a young age, just say for whatever reason, you don't have a mom or dad, I think you lose. Uh, I think you lose language,
Yeah, you do.
right?
Yeah, because it's language is taught, not language is taught as you're growing older. So
So if you're young enough, and which would be brutal if you were 5 or 6, and you don't have parents or something happened, you're wrecked.
yeah,
You're on your own, and it's not good. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this Chichen Itza is just a wild man, and over the years, uh, they've gone extinct because all wild men, most of them, go extinct. You
yeah.
know,
Because whether because they can't build shelter or disease breaks through incest, stuff like that. It's just a dying population a relic human or whatever it may be. So
You know what's a great movie that you should watch? It's called Missing Link. Have you ever seen that?
no, I haven't.
It is one of the coolest movies that it's a Chitsun. Never mind that. It's just a little Chitsunitsa that they- so anyways, the Missing Link talks about how man finally, like, there was only one of these links, these uh, uh kind of a wild man, uh
Mhm.
but maybe it was a Neanderthal, maybe it was the last of the yeah, it was the last of the Neanderthals, and he's this poor guy, and there was no speaking in this whole movie. It was
Oh,
really
is that the one where they unfreeze him from the thing?
no,
Um,
that was an awesome movie too. That was an awesome movie.
I was young when I watched that one with my dad, and I
Oh,
watched.
I was young too, you know, but it was an awesome movie where they unfreeze the guy, and
Yep.
that actor, he's been. Do you ever? He's been in a couple movies, but he was in what was that movie he was in? It was really good where he fooled Alec Baldwin was in it, and this is a movie where Alec Baldwin doesn't beat up a person who parked in his spot. This movie's like about anyways, he plays a sorcerer that hypnotizes the whole of New York, and nobody could see this building. It's really well done, but
Okay.
the actor did this. The synopsis is they find this Iceman, right, frozen in ice,
Hmm.
and if you were to freeze a guy in ice, it's not like Han Solo or anything like that. He's dead.
Yeah.
There's no way of bringing him back. So they unfreeze this guy. Doctors are there, and they're thinking they're just doing a routine check on this wild man. And what was he, like 15,000 years old or something like that? And
Something like that.
they
Yeah.
all of a sudden he just his heart started going. It was awesome. And they did. Hey, look, it's a little Chichen Itza. Look at that. Hey, hey, pal. He can't hear me, can he?
Nope, he can't hear you.
So he sees my ugly mug. That's good. He thinks this is a bad video. Look at him. There he is.
He's just crawling around exploring
That's good. That's. What was I talking about?
the movie.
Oh yeah. So anyways, this poor guy. They build a. You remember they build an enclosure,
Hmm.
and he finally he finds a wire. He thinks something's weird here. He finds a wire, and then all of a sudden, the jig is up. He realizes that uh, he's he's uh, pretty much a prisoner. While
Yeah.
they study him. But it was an awesome movie. But
My
watch
my
it.
biggest thing is remembering is him falling in love with that one scientist.
Oh, do you remember when he touched her?
No, I don't. It's been probably 17 years since I watched that movie, but
It would be something that, like, just to check, he touched just to see if it was a male, because like they're wearing pants and stuff, and
yeah,
so he doesn't know any better, and it's just like
yeah.
I've tried that at the mall, and that it doesn't work. It doesn't.
Uh, I can imagine.
So, yeah, great movie, but it makes you think about missing links and about how man branched off, where in the movie The Missing Link, it never really showed man. It just showed them from far away with spears, right? And it showed how man was slowly taking over the planet as the apex predator, right? So at one time, man could easily, because they ate plants and stuff. So man would have gazelles around him, or an animal, and they wouldn't be scared. But then once man figured out meat, it was easy pickings, right? So animals started to fear man, which, and anyways. But yeah, it was an awesome movie. So yeah, getting back to this, yeah, I'm all over the place. I know. So this Chichunitsa, to me, I always thought of the way I'm reading it. I think it's kind of like, you ever heard that? What's that Russian Baba Yaga? Baba Baba
Baba Yaga.
Baba. Yeah, it's like a
Baba
boogie.
Yaga.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the witch.
That's a
Uh,
witch.
witch. Yep, that eats children.
It's a
It is
witch that
one of the
eats.
most. It is one of the most popular versions of the folklore. So
Yeah, but it's a very uh like, it was to scare children.
yep.
So the same
Well,
thing.
like down in the southern United States, they'll say the boogers will get you. Well, I listened to someone who followed some linguist type stuff, and boogers became like boogeyman came out of boogers. I don't know why they called it that, but it goes back to like wild man sightings in the United States. So yeah, uh, Chuchunaa could be the Russian version of uh,
But don't you think that
boogeyman.
parents would tell their kids that if you don't do your homework, or you don't be good, a Chuchona could come and take you at night?
Yeah,
A wild
I mean,
man, right?
yeah. There's plenty of stories of uh, there's plenty of historical references to people using a wild man type creature that'll take you away at night if you go outside. So
Right, right. It's gotta suck if you've got like an outhouse. That's what they sound like. That Where did you get that recording?
that
That's
was my thud.
exactly what a Chichunitsa sounds like when they actually they pee and it freezes. He can't hear me, can he?
No, he can't hear you.
Oh,
He's
good,
off in his old world.
good. So am I. I'm usually off staring at butterflies.
He's playing with buttons on my truck.
He's playing with what? What's
He's
he playing?
he's playing with the flat screen on my truck.
Oh, that's awesome. So when you turn it on, my son would do that when he was younger, and the worst was he turned the stereo, like he cranked it all the way. So when I turned it on first thing in the morning, oh, the joy of parenthood.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting right here watching, so I know what to change when we get done.
Oh yeah, and nothing beats having kids. If you
Oh
if
yeah.
you if you if you don't have kids, uh, don't go out and kidnap them, because you go to jail. But try and find, either an adoption agency, foster children, or find a girl. And there's a lot of strip joints that you could, you know, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So
Yep.
he can't hear me, right? He's not going to go, that man is pure evil. I
No, he can't hear you.
Okay, good. All right. So, uh, do you like my hairdo today?
Yeah, it looks nice.
I look like a greaser from the 1950s. Gee, look at that. I look like Vinnie Barbarino.
Yeah, and I look like I came out of Siberia.
You do. You honestly, like, I was gonna grow my beard, but then I thought, see, my beard doesn't come. My beard looks terrible. Yours,
I've had a full beard since I was 15.
see, you look like a Viking, or like
Yeah.
you look like you work with metal and
No,
steel.
I'm actually a courier driver.
You don't have to say. I'm actually a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
So yeah, so back to the uh uh Chichen Itza there. I'm never gonna get that name right. But it just shows you how the sad thing is when I read about it, and what you were saying too. I read a little bit about it where Russian scientists believe that they're gone, but there are people. There were stories of the first time people came came to America, that even the Indians, the Aboriginal people, warned the settlers and said there are wild men out here.
Yeah.
And
On a podcast I like listening to, he actually goes over where there's only one recorded um, incident where the U.S. government actually fought a Bigfoot. It was actually quite interesting, but they didn't call it a Bigfoot; they called it a wild man.
yeah, they called it a wild man. I think I heard it. Yeah, that was
Aaron Mankey's Cabinet of Curiosities.
yeah,
Where I heard that one on. Yep.
yeah. So that was really cool. And let's not go to his podcast. Our podcast, you could actually win fresh. All right, it's not fresh. I've already drank out of that. I got nothing, folks. So yeah, go to that other podcast. You're gonna have to. So, um, yeah, I mean, wild men. I think people that I love watching shows that where people live off the grid, and I couldn't do it. But the way things are going lately, I'm like, uh, people live off the grid, and is it better to be when I think of a wild man, like a Chichen Itza, I wonder if they have a good life.
Well, look at the documentary "The Happy People." It's the reindeer herders in Siberia and how happy they are. So
Yeah. You know what's an insult for them?
what?
If you ask them how many deer do you have,
Oh, I did not know that.
because that's like asking them how much money you have.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. That
because each
that
one of
makes
the
sense.
each deer is money to them. So if you ask them how many deer you have, that's like saying how much money you got. So they don't
Yeah.
like that. But they're very happy, and they make their own clothing. There was what's his name? He is actually not a fake. I love watching. My wife can't stand it, but I love watching.
The guy who won the most recent season of Lost. I think you're talking about, right?
No, no, I'm talking about a real bushman. He's Bushcraft. His name is oh God, what was his name? I just had it. Not the younger guy that pretends to eat stuff. Meanwhile, he stays at hotel rooms. And remember, you know the guy I'm talking about. He finds like a bug
Les
and
Stroud, or
what?
not? Well, you, Bear Grylls is the one who stays at hotels. You're talking about Les Stroud,
That's it.
right?
No,
Yep. No.
less. I like less too. But there's
Or are you talking about Creek Stewart?
no. There's
Nope.
another guy. He's from the UK. God, I can't believe I forgot the man's name, but he was awesome. My head, look at my head. So yeah, he's a real bushman, this guy, and he went out there and he had, oh God, what's his name? If anybody knows this man's name, he's a famous. He teaches survival. He teaches people how to camping and how to start a fire.
I
He
have his book. I have his book, and I can't think of his name.
you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, like I said, I have his book. The more you describe him, yeah, I think he's the one that I have his book. I've got the full size version and then like a pocket version of it.
Yeah, he can't stand the other guy. He's not a fan.
That Les Stroud can't stand Bear Grylls either.
Yeah,
So,
because because he's a total phony.
yeah,
You know, my son wanted one of his knives, and I go, "You're not buying one of his $80 knives. There's no way. I'm not giving you his knife."
oh, Gerber makes good knives, but
Yeah, but I'm not. It's
yeah,
fake. Like the guy, it ruined it for me once they told me and they showed that all of his stuff is fake, except for the other guy who, like, Strauss actually starves himself, doesn't
Yeah.
eat. Like he really does and that tells you something about if you're a wild man and you've got to find food. Like everybody thinks it's, go out in the woods. My son asked me, like, why don't people go out in the woods unless you know how to make food or, hunt for food or what to eat properly. I mean, you find the wrong thing to eat, you could die a horrible death.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what I mean? So, there's also the barefoot bushman. You got to watch that guy. You look like him.
Barefoot Bush. Are you talking about Cody Lundeen
No,
from Utah?
no. I know
No.
Cody Lundeen, but no. This man here, what the hell? I wish I could look him up right now, but it'll be rude. Uh, Look, I got a message from you. It says, I could hear you. We're at it for about half hour doing this. And
Yeah.
I was faking it. I could hear him. I was just, oh, people are going to subscribe to this channel.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee you. Why do I have nothing but naked women on my? Oh, you could hear me still. All right. Bushcraft. That's what this guy's show was called. Bushcraft. Bushcraft. Camping skills. Yes, there he is. Now, what is your name? Bushcraft. Oh, he was awesome. I love watching him. He would do stuff like, where the heck is your name? Oh, shut up. Shut up. Look, it's a TikTok video. Shut up. Look, TikTok. Come on. Where is it? Bushcraft. My God, I just had the man. But it wouldn't tell me his name. It just showed me because he made a canoe once, like out of like here in Canada. He made it like oh my God, she's completely naked. But yeah, he made like he would make bushcraft knife. Let's see if this is the one. No, it's just showing knife. Anyways, this man was awesome, and of course, once we're done, his name will come to us. And anyways, it shows how he goes out there and he really does hunt, and he'll find um how to fish salmon. He'll go to Sweden. It's really cool. A guy go like he'll show how to take apart how to properly take away how to take apart a salmon properly using his thumb. Like he would use his thumb to get rid like where the rib cage is,
Okay.
and he would use his thumb, and he was taught that. And that's the thing about uh uh I believe any like a wild man, if you're out there and no one has taught you these traits, you're not going to last long.
No, you
You
won't.
know, if you, and I think that's where the stories come from. If they see an easy meal where they see that you have put your food outside or up a tree so bears can't get it, they will they'll easily take it because it's hey, it's free food, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a shame that they've, do I think there's any more wild men out there? No. I think that we've, and it's sad to say that because I think there's something romantic about being out there, but it wouldn't be romantic being alone,
No.
right? I mean, it would really be kind of depressing and sad. It'd be kind of like if you were forced to stay home, not talk to anybody, and you had to social distance, and you had to always wear this thing on your face all the time. Um, that's kind of what it would be like being
Yeah.
a wild man. Uh, being by yourself, a wild man. Now, if you're a wild man and you had like a bunch of women, wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be awesome.
Oh man,
That'd be a lot of fun.
sounds like a party there.
Yeah, it would. It would be a party. Thank God, like we've got like it's like 5 women that just go, well, this guy's an idiot. Just leave. Nothing new. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
It's like the 1980s bar scene for me. So
Yeah.
so um what do you think? Do you think there's any more wild men left?
Like in the world in general, or
Yeah. Like like I think if you were in, I'd have to say like again, I don't know if I was talking to you about this, but I saw this documentary where it was the first time Africans.
yep, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
you know what I mean? So because the sad part is that we've gone all over this planet, right? And uh maybe out there, because there is food, maybe there can be a small tribe of people that have not been destroyed by humans yet, you
There
know?
is. There's an island that every time people try landing there, they get killed. I cannot remember
Oh,
the name
that's
of the
good.
island.
I like their philosophy.
And when like people with helicopters and stuff, they'd fling arrows at the helicopters and all that kind of stuff.
And the guys in the helicopters are going
But
as if that's gonna hurt us. And then it hits one of the routers or something, and all of a sudden he's like, all right, we're in trouble. All right, we're
yeah,
screwed.
but there had been a shipwreck on there within the last 10 or 15 years, and
Right.
that's actually taking them out of their stone age within the last 10 or 15 years.
That's no good. I don't like that. I like it that I wish people would just leave other people alone.
Well,
If they
for
want,
most part, they had been left alone, but a ship is some kind of freight ship had what I think it had wrecked fairly close. I think this is in the Indian Ocean. I can't quite remember where
I've
it's at.
seen this. This is Gilligan's
Yep.
Island. It was they find ice cream. A bunch of ice cream goes up on shore, and then Gilligan he has to hand him out, and Ginger wants strawberry, and they only have so much strawberry. It's a mess. It turns into Lord
Yeah.
of the Flies.
Oh, I watched the movie of that when I was a little kid. That was not a good idea.
No, that wasn't. But you know what about that movie? That
Yeah.
is that movie, Lord of the Flies. And if you ever get a chance, watch Lord of the Flies. I watch it with my son, and I told him, I go, you got to pay attention here.
My biggest thing, I remember the pig's head on the steak.
Yeah, but
And yep.
but you know what it was? It showed
What?
how man destroys, like they just destroy everything.
Hmm.
Like they for some reason, there's yeah, you have to have a leader, and if the leader's bad and you don't uh go with that leader, then you become an outcast, and that's what that movie was about. When those You remember that? God, we're
Yeah.
giving away so many good movies. Missing Link, Lord of the Flies. What was the other one we were talking about? The one where he's frozen. What was that?
Yep.
What was that called?
What was that one called?
I'll try and find
Iceman? I think that was Iceman.
Iceman. Oh
I
God,
think.
that movie came out in the '80s. I really love that movie. Really,
Yeah, I
really.
remember watching that with my dad. I was about my nephew's age. It was 20 years ago or so.
God. Well, I remember when that movie came out. I know I look young, but that movie's very old. But I love like a story like okay, you ever see The Village?
The Village. Is that the one where they can't have red?
I think so. It's by
Yeah,
M Night. I make too much money, and I can't believe they pay me to continue to making.
yeah, I've watched that movie.
Yeah.
That
So
it that one's kind of trippy if you're not paying attention.
well, I think that movie would have done well in the 1970s,
Yeah,
right? Because I think people are kind of a little more, not to say people are dumber, but I just think I'm not saying people were dumber in the 70s. I just think the story, it just seems like a Ray Bradbury story. I love Ray Bradbury, where he has these really cool uh, stories, these really cool. Watch read Ray Bradbury. And there used to be a show. This should be just forget about cryptozoology. Let's just talk about movies we liked. There used,
uh,
there used to be a show, and it was all short stories like Twilight Zone. And
okay.
Ray Bradbury's some of his stories would be on this, and one of them was a Ray Bradbury. God, was it called Ray Bradbury Specials or I don't know. Anyways, the man was really, he was mad at Michael Moore because
Okay.
remember Fahrenheit 9/11?
I haven't watched that movie
Okay,
or
well,
read it
that,
or.
anyways, Ray Bradbury wrote Fahrenheit, not 9/11. He wrote what Fahrenheit, I forget the name. God, oh, it's great. I should come more prepared. Fahrenheit something. It was to do with the numbers. Is when water starts to boil.
Oh, at 212 degrees or
Yes.
100 degrees Celsius.
So it's some. It was called Fahrenheit 220 or something. I don't know. But it was a great. Anyways, he was really mad at Michael Moore for taking his title and using it for his movie.
Okay.
So you know, yeah. So to me, the sad thing is uh, that these tribes of people that are living alone, I really wish people would leave them alone.
Yeah.
Honestly, unless they want help, unless they have a sick person that really needs help, then okay, then and if they want help, then okay, give it to them. But if they don't want help, just leave them alone. Let them enjoy. You know, I mean, I see my kid staring at his stupid cell phone, and I'm looking at my cell phone, looking at adult movies, and then that was a Freudian slip. I never look at adult movies when I'm. Anyways, so everybody's looking. Everybody, my wife's watching her stupid show, and then it's just like everybody's staring at some mechanical device, and then you watch these, a documentary on these people that are out there. They're happy. They don't need any of that stuff. Hey, when
Yeah.
I grew up in the 70s, this is how it worked in the 1970s. Okay, so video games were starting. There used to be this thing called arcades.
Yep.
So how it worked like this, most people that owned an arcade usually smoked, right? So they would walk around. You had maybe $2, so that meant you could play 8 games. So you and a couple of your buddies, you would play a couple of games, and then if you were sitting around, buddy would be on you like, hey man, you got to get out of here. You don't got any money, and don't let me tell you again, because back then they could hit you.
Yeah.
So we would leave, and we would end up going down to the creek or out in the woods building forts, just having fun. And
Yeah.
I try to explain that to my son and his buddies. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? These games are dumb. They're dumb. You know, like I'm not into. There is a thing of uh, polluting polluting the mind, and I believe that the games do that. There he is. So some games are fine. I mean, not all of them, but my God, if they're on it for more than 3 hours, get your kid off that stupid game, man. I got to literally yell at my son to go get off that stupid game. Get off of it because
Yeah.
he's just stuck. He's just like, Dad, just give me a suck. I'm almost level 7. All I need, it's like, get off of it before I bust it. You know.
Yeah. Well, I didn't start playing like video games till I was like 18, and I bought my own console. And I found myself, I'll play for a little bit, find myself getting bored, then I go do something else.
Yeah.
So,
Go look for like he's too young, but I'm like, man, I was just like, go out. I bought him a slingshot. He honestly, I had my old slingshot, but
yeah.
I was very the I wanted to keep the rubber band on it still that I had from the like I bought it with my own money back in 1982.
Okay.
So I saved up because what would I would do? My first job was at uh uh my first job was this is night of I can't remember. This is I've got some timers. Sometimes I have no idea what the I'm talking about. Where they take animals apart. What's it called? The, the they take animals and they if you want your I remember a guy brought in his pet piranha and he wanted it
Back to,
taxidermy. So this guy took me in to and I was maybe I wasn't even 10 because I used to go to Black Creek and go pick up crayfish because when I was little he would say, if you get me some crayfish and I could put it in my tanks here, uh, I'll give you 2 cents each crayfish. And then, he would always give me like $5 for a pail of crayfish. And then,
okay.
we would all, so anyways, I saved up, bought a slingshot. And, anyways, my son was like, what am I going to do with this thing? And I go, all right, the elastic, we need to put a new elastic on it. And he was so like he wasn't into it until I set up, glass, like I set up a little shooting range for him. Look,
Yeah.
getting out of the bunker. And, and, and he loved it. He wouldn't stop. He just wouldn't stop playing with his slingshot. And I'm like,
That's good.
that's fun. Is that like to me, that's fun. And then his buddy would come over and go, what's that? And they would both, and then he went out and got a slingshot. Well, I had an older slingshot that I made out of wood. So
Okay. It
I gave it to him and he liked using it. So
was like I grew up on a little hobby farm out middle of nowhere, and my sisters and I would throw eggs at each other for fun. So
yeah, it was, you know, I think people are losing their, if you lose nature, you have no idea what you're missing. And, you know, once I get my kid out in the woods, he likes it. But to get him out there, oh God, it's like pulling teeth, you know?
my son, he's 3.5. He loves being outside. So
Yeah,
it's
but
always
my son was like that too. I remember he picked up a, a gardener snake.
yeah.
He had no fear. He picked this thing up and it was like this. I thought it was going to bite him. I ran out there. Look at him. I ran out there. I was like, what are you doing? And he had no fear, and I
Yeah.
said, don't do that. And he finally, he learned his lesson. He saw a bee on a flower and
Mhm.
he grabbed it. And
Oh,
I heard him scream.
oh man.
And I was like, oh man, my heart sank. But it's weird, eh? He doesn't like honey. So maybe that was the bee's plan. But anyways, he felt bad once he found out that I told him that the bee's gonna die now because you killed it, and I didn't, I had to explain to him because he's like, "Is the bee okay?" That's how worried he was. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like, I would have crushed that animal. It died because it the stinger
yeah,
comes off of
sticking.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
So all right. So anyway, all right. So in closing, do you think there's any more of these uh, uh, wild men of the woods? Let's call them that. Wild
If
men of.
there is, there's probably be gone within the next 5 years.
You
If
think
there
so?
isn't, yeah, because you have to have a breeding population to keep population going. So,
Well, they were saying where I read another article where these wild men were actually grabbing women from campsites and stealing them. That's
I've heard that with Bigfoot, but
oh
with
god,
this
can
one, I
you
haven't heard
imagine
anything.
Bigfoot? Big. Think about it. Big,
8 to 9 foot tall instead of 6 to 7 foot tall.
big feet, big foot.
Uh,
Well, you'd either have a happy girl. Let's face it. Come on, if it's Bigfoot, come on.
well,
You'd
there's
find
a
her.
reason.
You'd find her, and she'd be like, "Leave me alone." It's like, Becky, are you sure? It's like, just leave me alone. Just give me another night. Just
Well, Bigfoot erotica has grown in popularity quite a bit from what
remember,
I didn't. I
God,
didn't even hear. I didn't even know about it till a year ago. Until I heard someone talking about it, and I'm like, "What?" And then it's like this whole book series. I'm like, "Oh man,
there's Bigfoot erotica,
yes, there is. It's crazy."
and I don't own it. That is crazy. What the
Oh
hell?
man,
Wait. You want to get you? Want, yes, I want to have sex with a. What's that smell? That's big. That's Bigfoot. He can't hear me, can he?
no, he can't.
That
I've got
smell.
headphones on.
What's that smell? That's got to be Bigfoot's dick. I mean, oh man, humans destroy everything. Anything beautiful, it's like, yeah, all right, Bigfoot, great. Let's have them have sex with somebody. Like
Yeah,
they've run out of ideas uh uh for stuff. I don't know. It's just somebody thought, huh, I need to write a new comic. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Bigfoot. Bigfoot having sex with women. I'm a genius. This is gonna sell like
oh,
hotcakes.
oh,
Man, people are screwed up, man. That's why I have no the human race. I've just thought, man, this is just. But when I remember, you don't remember this, but there used to be a magazine called The Inquirer, and The Inquirer it was like a show called TMZ, right?
yep.
Okay, so The Inquirer was all these crazy stories, and one of the stories were Bigfoot got me pregnant.
Mhm.
And I remember seeing that when I was little, as I'm getting ready to leave, looking at this tabloid mag. It was, there were tabloid magazines, and I was like, even as a kid, I'm like, nobody believes this crap.
Sounds like the story of Grendel,
Grendel, what's that one?
Beowulf.
Oh yeah,
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 because the witch got pregnant by Grendel,
yeah.
and they had a son. Or actually, no. How did that go?
No, Grendel was the son of the witch.
Yeah, which
She got pregnant by a king, right?
no. If I remember right, Grendel's father was like a wild man, and Grendel was half wild man and half human from the witch. If I
Okay.
remember the story correctly,
No, because I remember, maybe I'm thinking
because
Beowulf.
Grendel was a
Why am I thinking Beowulf?
Beowulf was the person who killed Grendel.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So.
That was actually a
Another
good
wild man story.
another it's another great movie too, if you ever get a chance. It's a good
I
movie.
watched I didn't watch the newest one that came out. I watched a different one
The
that
car
was
is it animated?
no, it was not animated. It was a live action one that came out about the same time.
Well, this one here is animated where the guy who kills Grendel fights him naked.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
You know
But
which
this
one I'm talking about.
yeah, I haven't watched that one. But the one I watched around the same time, it was more of an actual historical reference to the actual uh story. It was live action.
Well,
It is really long and whatnot, but it's a cool story of a wild man too. So
yeah. So that's the thing that where legend things turn into legend stories of old. Once time goes by, all of a sudden these stories become legend,
yeah,
and where, for the you don't know, I don't think you know this, but Moby Dick was a real story.
I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so and it was horror the real story is horrible,
yeah, it
you know?
is.
It was absolutely horrible what happened to these guys that they pissed off this whale, and he, uh, he was angry,
Yeah,
and, they paid for it. It was pretty horrific what he did to them, but they were you imagine being stranded at I think in the ocean for well over 9 months?
yeah, something like that.
God, it was absolute that's a true story. So,
Yeah,
the
I think
original Moby Dick.
I think only two or three people survived, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, either 2 or 3, but it was just hell. Hell, absolute hell.
Yeah, and
But
back then, if something like that dire happened, it was kind of known that cannibalism, even though it's taboo, even then, it would not be a punishable crime because they are in dire situation.
well,
So
yeah, but that's something where like, what do you
that was
th what do you think
standard sea law back then.
but
So
see, yeah, but if I was like as soon as the ship went down, I'd be like, "Guys, if any of you eat me, I hope you get food poisoning or the runs for about a week."
well, that'd kill him in 2 days on the ocean.
Ugh. But yeah, I was just I know we're all over the place, folks. I'm sorry. We'll be more we're a base camp folks, you have no idea like I've got lions outside literally, okay? They're sniffing around. He's out and again, he's at the summit with his child. He brought his child to the summit. And I mean, he's fighting polar bears and we're bringing this to you. So you should be thankful and subscribe and send me money. In closing, what do you think? Like, do you think that I mean, people think it's a romantic thing to be out in the wild, which I could see that. And you just said, in 5 years, you believe they're gone. I think yeah, I think yes. In less than 5 years, the way things are going, it's gonna be it's just gonna be it's gonna be like the Tassie tiger. Once they're gone forever
Yeah,
until a scientist isn't gonna bring back people, but they'll bring back the Tassie tiger. But once these people go extinct, they're always gonna go extinct. I mean, that's the sadness of it. So, anyways, next week, what do you want the topic to be next week?
you want to do a sea monster or a lake monster?
Yeah, we'll do which one you want to do.
We can do either Ogopogo or Cassie.
Okay, we'll do Ogopogo.
Okay, so you're
Okay,
going Canada.
I know them both. So
Okay.
yeah, that'll be good. We could do Ogopogo. I'm actually working on a book. It's a kid's book for. Anyways, it's uh, uh but yeah, I want to do a sea monster or something. So yeah, next week join us. It'll be Monday night. Uh, and I'll try and figure out how to do a live feed. Then that way, you could bug us and if you have any questions. So without further ado, thank you so much. Hey Ben, thanks for. I know I that sucks that you got the little guy there running around and driving you nuts. Uh,
No, it's normal. Since his mom works night shift, so
well, I appreciate it. So, this week we're really all over the place. We're trying to talk about Wild Man, but when I got that text from you, when I looked it up, I was honestly looking. I was looking up. It was boy band that came up, and then what came up was, um, like that. I thought you meant Yeti, so I went and looked at tons of stuff about the Yeti. And no, it wasn't. We weren't talking about that. It was about the wild man. So, um,
well, it's a Bigfoot type creature that wears clothes, so
hey pal,
a little different.
hey pal.
Can you say hi, Patrick? Oh, there he goes.
He never. How old is he?
3.5.
3.5.
Yep.
Oh, that's the best time. That's the best time. Mine's so mouthy right now.
I don't know what's worse, a mouthy teenager or a mouthy 3.5-year-old.
Yeah, I don't know.
He can get an attitude act just like a teenager. So
Yeah, they get the whole I remember when I would do the whole mine when I was a kid and I would get a cuff and then I would just stop.
no,
But you can't do that anymore because that'd be bad. That's what they say.
no.
It would be bad. You know what? But I've never raised my hand at my kid, never. I've always hit him with a belt.
I didn't expect that one.
No, I've never he's a good kid. He's a
That's
good
good.
kid. My daughter though, she's got a mouth on her like, just but the boy, he's a good boy. Same with the
That's good.
girl, but she's got a chip on her shoulder. So you gonna have any more kids?
For right now, with this, he's just gonna be our only one for now.
Right. Well, you could always well, right now they're not at school. Have you ever thought of just driving by and just grabbing one you like?
No, no. I've always watched like other people's kids, and they kind of disappear on it. I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, well, if they don't realize it, I can make sure the kid doesn't get taken by someone. So I've had that
Right.
happen many times. And the parent looks at me, and I point at the kid, and they're just around the corner, and like, oh, thank you for watching.
Well, you know what drives me nuts is why like when I go to the park, uh he's not that I take him to the park still and to play, and I watch parents just stay on their phone.
Oh,
And I'm
I can't do it. I can't do it.
and I'm like, how do you like enjoy who the hell cares? Well, you get off the phone, man. Who cares? I drives me up the wall and the kids just dying for attention. Hey mom, hey mom, hey dad, check this out. And they're like, yeah, while they're staring at their phones, like, you know, it just
When I'm in public, I with my son, I'm barely on my phone. I'm terrified of someone taking them.
yeah, me too. I was like that too. I was like that. And that's good. That's good parenting because we live in a society of, you got to be careful, you know.
Before he was born, my nephew almost got taken. So yeah, get freaked out about it.
Yeah, I had a freak out when my daughter after school She, instead of waiting for me, she was only 6. She ran to the park
Oh, jeez.
out these other doors with this other girl.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting there waiting, and all these parents. There, there he goes. I knew it. He got you. I told you. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that a wonderful feeling?
Oh, that made me jump.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It made me jump. And
Oh,
I'm
he jumped too.
and I'm 300 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a jewel. I told you that's gonna happen, man. I warned you, Ben.
I know.
I warned you that's gonna happen.
Oh.
They know it, man. They're smart. They're little gremlins. So, anyways, real quick. I was waiting, and I noticed that I'm the only guy still waiting, and usually I'm the first one there. And I'm like, "Where's my kid? Where's my kid?" And I remember a teacher came out, and I go, "Where's my child?" And she's like, "Well, all the kids are pretty much out." And I go, and I ran inside the school where she normally would be, and nothing was there. There was no her backpack and her shoes were gone. And I'm like, she's not here. And I had a conniption. Meanwhile, the whole school, the alarm, everything, and they went looking. The teacher helped me look, and finally, a kid came up to me and goes, "Hi, are you, uh, Vanessa's dad?" And I go, "Yes." And he goes, "She's at the park." And I was past angry, but I ran to the park, and there she was. I was so, I pissed blood for a week. I did,
I didn't
because
believe it.
I went to the doctor, and I thought something was wrong with me. And he said, "You got yourself so worked up that you literally, I did. I was peeing blood for about 3 days." And he just said, "It's because your nerves were shot." Because I thought somebody stole my child.
Yeah.
So
Well, I thought he had. We were working in his grandma's house one day, and the door was open, and he could get through the screen door. Well, we couldn't find him, and we're still in the midst of potty training. It's going slow, but anyways, I was trying to look outside, and I almost Kool-Aid man the screen door, trying looking for him, but he was in
yeah,
the bathroom going potty by himself. So,
yeah, it's
oh
great. When they get older, they never remember any of that. You
no.
remember it all, but they are always like, "Hey, Dad, what's up? You got $10?" You know?
Well, my mom always says it's revenge because some of the stuff he does, I used to do.
Yeah, true, true.
So yeah.
All
So
right.
when your kids or parents tell them, "Oh, you did that too,"
Yeah, well, I was actually, my dad never really hit me. I think only a couple of times, and that was because I was really I really pushed it. So, but I love him. Uh, but yeah, it was a different time. So, okay, so Ben, thank you so much. Today we were talking about Lakota, the oil. No, we were talking about the Chitsu,
Chuchunaa,
the Chuchona,
Chuchunaa.
and we were all over the place. I apologize, but next week we're gonna try, and we're gonna do, is it Champ or Ogopogo?
Ogopogo. Yeah.
Ogopogo next week. We're gonna do a good show on Ogopogo. This was our I think our second one. We were really just talking about, first show was just about cryptozoology. So uh thank you so much. Subscribe. I know we're all over the place. Forgive us. If you stuck with us, hey man, you know what those guys felt like when they served in Iraq. You went through hell tonight. All right. So thank you so much, and thank you, Ben.
Thank
And
you.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you during the week, and I'll send you some stuff, whatever.
Alrighty,
And
sounds
that
good.
way we'll rock and roll, and then we'll have some fun. All right.
All right, sounds good.
All right, folks. Be good. Okay. Take care of yourselves, and I'll put a link to um, some other crap. All right. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye, big guy.